Hello there, and welcome to another Starfield video. So today we're taking a look at another paid mod. This is by X, and this is the Starborn Guardian 7+. So what this mod plans to do is it turns the Starborn Guardian into, as it says there, a cross-dimensional powerhouse, allowing players some sense of bearing and connection. So in the base game, the Starborn Guardian is kind of tragic in terms of its stats. It looks amazing, but he can't really hold up to the test of, well, not the test of time, but the test of players. So what it basically does, this mod, is it updates the stats of the Guardian up to, I believe, 250, which is kind of insane. Apparently that's like the max level for like Unity, if you've gone through 250, I'm so sorry. I love Starfield, but Jesus Christ. But again, you know. So it basically improves the stats and stuff. It costs 100 credits, which is very nice. Like, I feel like, generally, so X has done a couple of he's done another paid mod. He's done some pretty awesome mods. He's done some, I've reviewed some of them. The Starborn Guardian, the retexture, and then the internal ship interiors. And then he has also done the prime weapon skins for the sniper, which was also 100. I feel like, I mean, it's kind of a cheat code pricing stuff at 100, because like, even if it's does the bare minimum, it's like, it's just $1, you know, it's €1. It's probably 60 pence. But yeah, so obviously if you're going to want to buy this, you're going to have to spend the minimum of 500 credits. So it's like €5 or $5, or like probably £4. But yeah, let's get into it, shall we? Alright, so I tried to spawn in, like, I did spawn in. So there's basically, the way this mod works is, like it was saying in the initial kind of intro, that there's like 250 plus versions of the Guardian. Basically meaning that it'll like upgrade past the usual, I think, 6. And then anything over 250 will be called the Starborn Guardian Continuum. Now, the stat-wise, the way I was trying to spawn a tier 1 version to basically test against, but for some reason I couldn't. I don't know why. When I go to search Starborn Guardian, there's 250, like, templates of, like, the ships, because, you know, this mod adds that. And I don't know if it's, like, if it's just a, if I'm doing something wrong, because I will say I'm quite a novice when it comes to, like, spawning stuff and searching through the console commands, but it like gets to a certain point. I think it starts at 250 and then it like scrolls up. Like, let me show you. I was searching, if I search Starborn, searching Guardian, yeah, help Guardian 4GB FM, and you'll see there, so we have like these versions here, the Starborn Guardian modules. Now, I tried to spawn these, and it wouldn't let me for some reason. I don't know why. And then if we keep scrolling, you'll see these are the versions here, the templates. Now, I could spawn these. So this is the continuum, and as you can see, like, we keep scrolling. There's, like, quite a few. But as you kind of get through it, so, like, there's 99 templates of that one, and then it'll jump to the next one. Sorry. And then we've got more templates, but it'll just stop. It just stops there at that one. I can't go any lower, which I don't know if that's just a limitation of the specific. Actually, let me try something. Oh yeah, so I just tried to search Starborn Guardian V, and nothing comes up. Yeah, I don't know if it's like just a limitation of the console commands themselves specifically. Like, it'll only allow you to scroll back so far, which I will say I can't tell if that is the case, because I will say that the most I've ever scrolled back has been with mod. No, yeah, so basically, what the mod does is it makes it, like, it improves the stats of the Guardian. So the first 6 versions of the Guardian will have, like, stat changes from 1 to 6, which I wish I could show you the difference, but I do have the stats themselves. So the cargo doubles with each level. There's a minor health increase to the hull. Shields increase with each level, with the biggest jump from 5 to 6. Crew capacity upgrades to 7 with every level until level 6, which it goes beyond 10, which raised to 10. Passenger capacity is raised to 7 with every level until it's 10. Shield regen rate is changed from level 3 and above, and then the solar beam and gravity damage have been increased. So just looking at the stat wise, you see here it's got a fuel of 1500, which I think is the base. It's got a hull of 2019, which if we were to compare that, that's just sitting a little bit under what you kind of expect for a C-class vessel, give or take. It's got a cargo of what is that, 144,000, which is an awful lot of cargo. Now I do have, I believe I have stats. Let me check. Do I have stats? Probably. Payload, where's payload? Yeah, so 50% more capacity. So we're basically getting an extra 50%. And then the shielded capacity is 48,000. I don't know if the original one had shielded. So it still has the 23 reactor. It's got the crew at 10. It has the passenger thing, but I can't see that, strangely. Jump range 30 light years, shields of 4,800, and then the solar and the torpedo damage there. So I do apologize. This review is kind of a bit yeah, it's not the best. I wanted to kind of compare the stats, but like as it kind of says there, like as X has in the description, it basically gets better. So for people who are kind of wondering, like, okay, like what's the main purpose of this? It basically, yeah, it makes the Guardian better, and then obviously up until 6 is when it gets the best it is. Anything after 6, and it'll keep counting up to over 250, to which it'll just say to continuum. But the difference, there is no difference between level 6 and level 100, or level 6 and level 200, or level 6 and continuum. I think the whole point of the continuum was just so if you, let's say for instance, if somebody wanted to kind of document how many they've gone through, like if you've gone through it 100 times, your ship shows that basically. So what we're going to do is we're going to test how it performs. And I guess the best way to test is we're going to just make a ship. I did this before in the past. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a ship, and we're going to compare it and see how it kind of performs, and we'll put the we'll crank the difficulty up. So I'm going to really quickly go make a ship, and we'll be right back. All right, so I really quickly made a made a ship. So it's got, this is just kind of the end game ship. It's got 6 Vanguard Obliterator auto projectors, A-class, 38.99 range, 11.54 hull and shield damage, 6.65 fire rate, 2 power. And then we went with 4 Vanguard Ares particle cannons, C-class, 99.99 range, 4 fire rate, 18.89 hull and shield damage, 3 power. And then we just went with 3 of these Obliterator 2 ME5s from light sight, C-class, 42.25 range, 4 fire rate, 30.44 shield and power damage, and then 4. So this would be kind of your typical loadout. So if we really quickly, let me save that. So if we really quickly compare the stats, so obviously we're getting 69, 75, and 91 versus the guy which is 69 and 170. So what we're going to do is we're going to crank up the difficulty to, we won't put it on extreme because I value my life. We'll probably put it to hard, and we'll just basically pick a target, shoot it, and then come back and try again and just kind of compare. So we're going to do this one first, and then we'll be right back. All right, actually, to do this testing properly, I put the enemy ship damage or player ship damage on extreme, which means I deal very little damage, and then the enemy ship damage to very easy, which means they do little damage to me. And we're kind of looking more so at how much the damage is on the enemy ships, not really how much we get damaged by, just for kind of rep. Also, the thing to remember is obviously the shield. If we really quickly look, this has a base shield of I think 160 or 1600, and obviously I have a buff that increases it with my perks. Whereas if we look at this has 4800, so well over double. Just actually not double. Let's go and check it out. We'll do some damage and we'll be right back. Alright, I just want to interject briefly. I've been sat here refreshing the fucking mission board for like a half an hour, no joke. And it took ages to get a goddamn ship mission. But anyway, let's go do the testing. So we're gonna basically test the Wraith in both situations. We're gonna start off with the endgame ship first, I suppose. All right, so we're just jumping in now. So obviously we're just testing the overall damage of the ship itself, not the. Whoops. Of course, we'll be back. I completely forgot that when you get a new ship, it's like got 0 and everything. Yeah. So we're just testing damage currently. We're not actually going to be worried too much about like how much damage we take. So as you can see, this is me. We're firing an endgame ship. It's just a Wraith, and it dies pretty quickly. So now we're gonna compare to the kind of end game equivalent of the Guardian. Now we're in the Guardian. So one of the big things I will say with the Guardian, we're not in range. Okay, one of the big things I will say with the Guardian in general is the fact that you kind of have the stats already. Like, you don't need to basically manage your power. Obviously, as we can see, damage-wise, it doesn't, like, exactly, like, it doesn't, you know, kill the ship extremely quickly. But one thing I will note is, I don't know, I think the unique loadout, it kind of makes it better, in my opinion. Like, the torpedoes that basically disable the ship briefly. So combat-wise, it's definitely nowhere near endgame in terms of like overall combat. But I think when you compare like everything else to it, so like I'm gonna really quickly, we're just gonna jump to Serpentis. And while we're jumping to Serpentis, I'm gonna basically talk a little bit more. So like because the thing you have to take into account is obviously this isn't just this isn't necessarily like meant to upgrade the Guardian's combat potential. It does do that in its shields and hull and weapons, but it's like more so meant as this mod, like I said a few times, this mod is more meant to be, if you enjoy the Starborn Guardian, you kind of want to see it like evolve around you. Now we've got a few higher level ships. We're gonna try them out. Obviously, one of the things I will say is, one, I'm really good at crashing into things. Not how fast the Starborn Guardian is. The other thing is, I'm not used to fighting with the Guardian, because like obviously when you disable with those missiles, and then you have to instantly slow yourself down. So it also, there's a buff, I want to, in the stats, X mentions that the shield regeneration is being buffed. Now, to be honest, it's kind of hard to test that, because that's not actually like I mean, it's not something I personally have really tested. Hopefully X might be able to comment, and just kind of give like base stats, like is it a kind of, you know, 50% faster, you know, 75% faster. Obviously, as you can see here, the damage is like, I will say, comparing it to the, you know, comparing it to the whole, well, basically, yeah, comparing it to the particle beam monster that we kind of envision when we think endgame ship, doesn't compare, you know, it just doesn't. But I think one of the big kind of benefits of this is obviously looking at the stats as a whole, you know? Like, the cargo capacity is insane. The hull, pretty decent. The shield's really good. I mean, the fuel, I think the fuel is the same. So that's, I mean, that's pretty much it. I do apologize. It's kind of it's a weird one to cover, just because obviously the whole purpose of this mod is basically, if you're a fan of the Guardian, and you kind of want to, you know, you want to kind of roleplay as the Starborn, and you want a ship that's kind of upgrading with you, this is the perfect, you know, mod for that. yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know if you guys have been messing with this mod and if you've had any issues. Let me know. I don't really see there being much issue, personally, but that's just me. Like it's just a stat change in terms of, like, obviously it's not just a stat change. You don't want to discredit X's work, like, but I mean it's just kind of improving the base Guardian. It's not like it's kind of adding in like completely new stuff that should break the game. I don't think it will. I guess, yeah, that's the point I'm trying to make, is I don't think you should have too much of an issue on like Xbox and stuff, but you never know. Mods tend to be very finicky. But let me know what you think of it. Do you think this is a mod you would like to enjoy? Do you think you'd get it? And yeah, as always, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and catch you in the next one. Bye bye.